Okay, I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller, but first I'm going to show you the Nintendo Switch 1 Pro Controller, which does have compatibility to the Switch 2. You can see that we have the dual analog sticks here, offset, a D-pad, which has had reported troubles. If you're going left and right, it will often jump up and down. It's very inconsistent and really the worst D-pad in Nintendo history. You have the plus and minus buttons on the top here. You have the screen capture and home buttons over here, and then you have the four main buttons and the triggers on top. Charging cable goes in the top as well, and on the bottom, little lights that tell you which controller port that this controller goes to. Now, everybody loved the Pro controller. This is the Switch 2 controller, and a lot of people have talked about how this is their favorite controller ever made by Nintendo, but I disagree. First of all, everything is pretty much the same here. The analog sticks are better. They feel smoother and they actually make less noise. Not that the other ones made a lot of noise, but it's nice. D-pad is the same. The buttons are slightly bigger, and one improvement on the plus and minus buttons are that they are raised, which helps me remember the difference between home and plus and minus and screenshot. Everything else is the same, but you'll notice that the lights are on the top here instead of the bottom. There are also two additional buttons. Essentially, this doubles as kind of a elite controller. There's two more buttons that are on the inside of the sticks. But I don't like this controller better than the Switch controller, and here's why. The whole thing is got a plasticky feel to it. If you look at this controller, these sections here are a little bit more rubberized and feel amazing. They keep the controller solid in your hands. This doesn't have them. And I think a future revision probably will, but the ones that you can buy in the store today do not. So they feel really bad. The controller is also much lighter, and whenever I'm playing a game and I'm holding the controller, I feel like the slidey surface and the lightness of it is pushing the controller up and out of my hands. I never feel like I have a good grip with it. So I do like the analog sticks. I do like the slightly bigger buttons. I like the raised buttons here. But the D-pad, which was the one thing that did not work well, still works like crap on this controller. And I do not like these extra buttons. They might come in handy someday for some games, but when I'm just holding the controller regularly, my middle fingers are on those buttons and constantly will push them in and out, and it just makes for a very unstable feel. So while it did make some inroads, I will take the old Switch controller any day of the week.